Sketch fillets and chamfers are sketch tools that are used to smooth out and break sharp corners. The sketch fillet tool trims away a corner and creates a tangent arc, resulting in a smoother edge. The sketch chamfer tool also trims away a corner, but instead creates a bevel. In this lesson, I'll show you how to use both the sketch fillet and sketch chamfer tools to edit sketch geometry, and I'll go over a few options to keep in mind when using them in your own sketches. Keep in mind, SOLIDWORKS does provide fillet and chamfer icons on the Features toolbar for applying those features to faces, edges, or vertices of a third model. In this lesson, I will be focusing on fillets and chamfers. Here I have a sketch already created that I'll use to demonstrate both the sketch fillet and chamfer tools along with their options. I'll start with the sketch fillet. While editing a sketch, you can launch the sketch fillet tool from the sketch toolbar, the right-click menu. Or since this is a tool I use frequently, from the shortcut toolbar by pressing the S key on the keyboard. I'll click the sketch fillet icon, and the Property Manager appears with a spin box to set the radius of the fillet. You can use either the arrows or directly type a number to set the radius. I'll hover the mouse over a vertex, and a preview of the fillet arc appears. A fillet can be added at an intersection by either selecting the vertex at that intersection or by selecting the lines that meet there. I'll click this vertex and a fillet name appears in the Entities to Fillet window. With the fillet placed, you can now change the size manually by clicking and dragging the fillet in the graphics area, but I'll leave it set to 4 mm for this lesson. As long as the command is active, you can keep selecting corners to fillet with the selected radius. So I'll select the vertical line in the bottom corner so line 5 appears in the Entities to Fillet window, and when I hover over the bottom line, a preview of the fillet appears. I'll select this line, and the fillet is added in the graphics area and replaces the line name in the selection window. I'll come back to these options at the bottom of the Property Manager in just a moment. For now, I'll click OK, and the sketch fillets are added. I want you to notice two things. First, virtual sharp symbols were added where the entities previously intersected, and although 2 fillets were created, only one was dimensioned. The virtual sharp symbols were added because the Keep Constrained Corners option was selected when I created the fillets. When this option is selected, the virtual sharp corners represent the vertex where the lines previously intersected before the fillet was added, and they can be used for dimensioning or adding relations. If you leave this option unchecked, any dimensions and relations associated with the corners will be deleted. Let me show you. I'll click Undo to get rid of the fillets I just created, and relaunch the tool using the shortcut menu. I'll uncheck the Keep Constrained Corners selection box and reselect the corners. When I attempt to add a fillet, SOLIDWORKS displays a pop-up window warning me that the corners have existing geometric relations that will be deleted if the fillet is created. I'll click Yes, then click OK to add the fillets. As you can see, the virtual sharp symbol for the upper sketch fillet has disappeared, along with a 10 mm dimension. As I mentioned a moment ago, you can also see that 2 fillets were created, but only 1 dimension was added. This happened because the dimension each fillet option was cleared when I created the fillets. When this option is cleared, and you create multiple fillets at once, like in this example, only 1 fillet will have a dimension that drives their size. The rest of the fillets will have equal relations added to them automatically, which ensures that if one fillet radius ever changes, the other ones will automatically update to reflect the change. If you instead select the Dimension Each Fillet checkbox, SOLIDWORKS will add dimensions to all fillets. Let me undo the fillets I just created once again so you can see the change. I'll relaunch the Sketch Fillet tool. I'll check Keep Constrained Corners so that the sketch remains fully defined, and I'll also check the Dimension Each Fillet checkbox. I'll select the Entities to Fillet and click OK. This time, a dimension of 4 mm was added to each fillet. At this point, let's move on and talk about the sketch chamfer. The sketch chamfer can also be found on the Sketch toolbar, under the Sketch Fillet flyout, or you can access it from the shortcut toolbar by clicking the S key on the keyboard, where you'll find it under the Sketch Fillet flyout. When the Sketch Chamfer Property Manager appears, You can see that there are two parameter options to choose from. The angle distance option uses an angle and distance to define the chamfer geometry. The distance parameter is applied to the first entity selected, while the angle parameter is applied from the first entity selected towards the second. The distance option uses two distance parameters instead. Similarly, distance 1 is applied to the first entity selected, while distance 2 is applied to the second. When equal distance is selected, distance 1 applies to both entities. For this sketch chamfer, I'll uncheck equal distance, enter a distance 1 value of 5 mm and a distance 2 value of 10 mm. I'll select the right edge first and the top edge second. Right away, you can see that the chamfer was created and a sharp symbol was added where the lines previously intersected that can be used for relations and for dimensioning. If you want to change the order in which you selected the chamfer geometry, you can click the Undo button in the Property Manager to remove the chamfer, allowing you to reselect the sketch entities. I'll reverse the order of the selections I made last time so you can see the results. As a final note, notice that just as with sketch fillets, SOLIDWORKS automatically adds the dimensions to the drawing, and they can be adjusted just as you would with any other dimension.